Now, normally this is where I'd make a dad joke about how this is the last time you'll be seeing me this year and that I'll be taking the rest of the year off, because this is the final 2024 video on this channel. I don't really think that's worth celebrating or anything, but something interesting to me. Now, that said, I was going to put up my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 today, probably aiming that for tomorrow or the day after, even though that's been out for a couple weeks now. But I wanted to talk at least once more before the end of the year about Batman Arkham Shadow. Now, Batman Arkham Shadow is a game that I was originally hesitant on. I was originally, what would you say, very critical of. I think very critical of would be the way to say it, not in terms of like, will this game be good or bad? I think I even said back then, this has nothing to do with whether this game will be good or bad. It could be the best game ever. But my frustration was kind of with WB around the universe. And a lot of people kind of jumped into White Knight immediately saying like, oh, well, hey, now, you know, hold on, you're going after Camo here, but you got to remember that like without Meta and them, there wouldn't be any more Arkham games. And my thing was never anything about Camo. I'm not honestly thrilled on Meta as a company just because of Facebook and a lot of things around them, a lot of things they own. But that said, I never wanted this game to be bad. Now, I was actually reached out to by Ryan Payton, who worked on Batman Arkham Shadow, if you don't know, also had a hand in things like Metal Gear Solid 4, so very, very talented video game developer, who was like, basically, TLDR, I'm not going to leak any DMs or anything like that in this because that would be weird, but basically TLDR was like, hey, I understand, you know, the frustration, I understand how you feel, you know, about the things that you said, you know, if you want to try the game for yourself, I would definitely be willing to send you a headset to be able to do it. Now, something that's worth noting with this is that I think some people are immediately going to say, oh, so all he's going to say is positive stuff because he got something for free. No. When it comes to the game, I'm going to be pretty nice because I really enjoyed the game. And I want to talk about that for a few minutes here. But when it comes to the headset itself, there were a lot of frustrating things that hindered my enjoyment of this game that probably would not for you. And that's kind of a confusing statement, but one that I will make clear. I do have a question of the day for you though today, which is, maybe I've asked this before, but if you were to see another entry in the Batman Arkham universe, what would you want it to be? Would you want some actually canon comics that don't get retconned every 20 minutes? Would you want a sequel to this game, to Arkham Shadow? Would you want a sequel or prequel to a different game? Would you want a movie? What do you want? I'm interested to hear that down below. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League sequel. Everybody grab that guy. Everybody grab that guy. Throw him out of here. He's banned. Here's the thing. Now, when I talked about this originally, I was very frustrated with the state of this universe. We had recently had a radio silence forever, but I think most people, after so many different rumors that had been unsubstantiated in an era where WB as a company was unwilling to shut down any rumors around their movies, games, anything. They just let them fly and said, we don't care what anyone thinks. We don't care if people believe this is coming out or not. Who cares? After so many things like Arkham Insurgency, Arkham HD Remaster ideas, Arkham Origins HD Remaster, leak that never happened, all of these things, right? Ports, everything. I think people had kind of had enough, especially after the whole Project Sabbath thing came out, where we were seeing these Batman Beyond-esque different concept art, things like that, of the Arkham universe. And I was one of those people where it was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm going to talk about the old stuff, but it's like, whatever. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was announced. It was not at all what I wanted it to be as a genre or as a game, but I was like, okay, hopefully this is good. And I hated it. I thought it was really, really mid as a game. Fun mid-game, but terrible story. I thought it was horrendously bad, and I thought it did nothing to help that universe. So then in comes Arkham Shadow, which was all of a sudden a VR follow-up to probably my favorite story in the Arkham universe, which is Origins. Hot take, I love Origins. I love Roger Craig Smith, Troy Baker, like I love the way that they played those characters. Are they better than Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and stuff like that? No, I don't even compare them. I don't think one's better or worse. I just love that interpretation. So when this game was announced, I was very iffy on it and frustrated because to me, no matter who funded it, no matter where it was coming from, anything like that, it was another thing where I was looking at this as, I love this universe. We got nothing forever. Then there was a shooter game that was really bad, live service shooter game. And now there's a VR game for a headset that I didn't own and that I knew a lot of people didn't own and were frustrated about the announcement of. So when I got this game, I was already kind of iffy on it. I was like, okay, well, do I be overly nice about this because someone gave me something for free and I feel bad? You know, nobody else is going to get this headset for free. Like, I can acknowledge that. And I never get free stuff. Like, when I reach out to video game developers to say, like, hey, you know, I can't access this thing or anything like that. Is there a way I could get early access to this to review it before all of the media companies do? I'm either usually told no or ignored. So this was very weird and new to me. I think it's because a lot of my videos are not ultra positive. I don't really get most of those opportunities. So I was very surprised to receive the game. I thought Ryan Payton was very gracious with it. And I want to say I really enjoy this game. This game won an award at the Game Awards. I don't care that much about the Game Awards either way, but I do think the award was deserved. And I was very happy that it won one because it is a very good game. It puts you first person in the shoes of Batman, in your room, obviously, but you know, in Gotham. So like, it's not like you're seeing your room. It's not augmented reality, it's virtual reality. And you're essentially fighting your way Arkham style through the streets, through this different, pretty linear story, but that gives you options to interact with the world with. And I thought it did a really good job with this. Now, to address the elephant in the room, you're probably wondering, one, well then what's the problem? And two, why are you not only showing footage of Arkham Shadow, and why does the footage you're showing not look good? Well, the problem is that when it comes down to it, all of the problems I have with this game, and I'm not kidding, all of them, come back to the MetaQuest headset, which I will admit I got for free. But if I had paid for it, you know, if I had paid the $500 for the version I got, because I did not get the S, Ryan sent me the full-on, you know, like 4K capable, I believe, just normal headset. Not going to pretend I'm an expert on it, but not the S, the full-priced one. If I had paid full price for it, I would have been really frustrated because it is near impossible to record games on this thing in a very good way. Like when I was recording on this, and I already know someone's gonna be typing in the chat a full explanation of how to do it. I talked to official VR developer representation. I talked to people officially surrounding this game. Don't want to say who because I don't want to make them look bad. I don't want to say what content creators, but there were content creators who even pitched in on how they did it, and how they recorded this game was doing things like recording in 10-minute to 1 hour long segments, having to resync up the audio, having to replay whole 30-minute stretches of the game, because not to the game's detriment, but to the headset's detriment. If you're trying to record the game, if you're trying to show it to people, you have a few options. You have the option to lose like almost 40% of the field of view for people watching, and that's with normal casting. I'm going to mess up some of the details here because I've had to try it so many different ways. You have the option to run it through the MetaQuest Developer Hub on a PC, which severely impacts the actual performance of the game, which caused the game to crash over and over for me, which, you know, was really an issue. Or you can also, by the way, that tanks the frame rate sometimes to like 1 frame. Sometimes the headset would just crash and say it ran out of memory. You have the option to run it through the Developer Hub, but then run it through OBS, which didn't really help with this game because this game is pretty advanced. It's a pretty demanding game for the headset it's on. And so my long story short is, this is a game that I really enjoy, but I don't know how to make content about. And now, does this game at the end of the day need the Degenerate J seal of approval? Does it need me making content about it? No. But I talked about this game before a few times. I said, hey, I'm going to give this game a chance. If I enjoy it, I want to make content on it. I made about 8 parts of a Let's Play over on my Let's Play channel. So if you want to see what I'm talking about, there's hours of what I'm talking about where you can see what I'm doing with the settings and everything. You can see the differences. And even after talking to people officially surrounding the game, representatives of it, even after talking and getting feedback from other content creators who did it, who said that they were having to do multiple ways, and then they were having to replay stretches of the game when it crashed, or resync stretches of the game because the headsets are not really designed to record off of very well and preserve that experience. It's a weird spot for me where I'm like, I think this game was great. I think this game is very special. I think this game actually did what it set out to do. But it's one of the first times I've ever encountered a game, other than for copyright issues, where I feel like I can't show you that very well. And so that's where it's very difficult to me, because I know there will be people who are thinking, oh, he's being nice to the game because he got it for free. I know there will be people who are thinking, oh, he's too lazy to figure out what these issues are. I know there will be people who say, oh, well, this content creator did it, but then you're not actually seeing all of the hours that they spent to go back and replay segments of the game over and over and over again because, like, the recording broke the frame rate, things like that. This would be like if you had an amazing game on the PS5, but the PS5 couldn't be recorded. You know, the game is not bad. Like, that's where it kind of becomes difficult to talk about, where you're like, hey, this is the best game ever, but I can't show you it. There's going to be people who look at that and they're like, well, then it's not the best game ever because I know you're lying because you didn't show me anything. You know, Pixar, it didn't happen. That's where this is such a frustrating topic to me. You know, going into this game, I'm not going to spoil like the story in detail or anything like that, but a couple of broad strokes things, they tie in so many different source materials to the Arkham universe that I think are very good. Even things like Dr. Leslie Tompkins, things like the early days of Harvey Dent, you know, back when he was the DA, things like how Batman and Gordon became better friends. That's my really in-depth literary analysis of it because I'm tired. There's a lot of, even the Matches Malone persona for Bruce Wayne, and kind of the history of Blackgate and some classic villains. These things are explored in the game in a way where when I was coming across them, I was coming across these Easter eggs and these different things that added to the Arkham world. It felt like Rocksteady. It felt like classic Rocksteady, not in the sense of Rocksteady made it, but in the sense of the attention to detail. You know how we would play those Rocksteady games, especially, and I think Arkham Origins did a good job of it. I don't think it was on the same level when Arkham Origins did this. But you know when we would play those Rocksteady games and there would be these callbacks, kind of member berry type things where they'd be like riddles, or maybe they would be different Easter eggs that would tie the games together, or maybe you'd even find the laughing fish and it'd be like, oh, the laughing fish, a variant of this was used from BTAS, it was used in the Arkham universe. Well, that's really cool. It really reminds me of that, where you're coming across these things. Some of them are inspired by classic comic books, some of them are inspired by the DCAU, some of them are just inspired by other Arkham games, but they find a way to fit those puzzle pieces into the Arkham universe in such a masterful way. I just feel like for me, unless I can figure out another way to do it, and maybe I can, you know, maybe I don't have time right now to replay each section of the game over and over to get one take that's good, which is, I know what some people had to do, and I applaud them for it. I don't have time for that. My aunt just died. It's been the Christmas season. You know, my wife has had issues with her job. I don't only run one channel. I have other stuff going on. There's other ways I make money because my YouTube income is not self-sufficient to the point of being very profitable. There's a lot of stuff I do that takes up my time that makes it so I can't do that. So because of that, right now, I'm kind of at this spot where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to continue my Let's Play on it unless it either comes to a more powerful headset in the future, or the next MetaQuest or the one after that is strong enough that you can record through the developer hub or record through built-in software without it severely impacting either the performance, the audio, or what you actually see through the field of view. I think that until the technology improves kind of where, you know, home consoles and PC are, where you can both play a game and record it and not be sacrificing what you're showing, I don't know if this is something I'm really going to be covering very much. I would love to. I'd love to cover it more if I want, if I came up with a solution, but I'm open to solutions in the comments. But I will say, I talked to people officially representing the game. I asked Ryan about it as well, and this is not throwing him under the bus or anything like that, but he gave me the most help he could. At the end of the day, he is a video game developer, and a damn good one. He is not a YouTuber. Like, they designed this game to be a good game. They didn't design it with the idea of what are the limitations of the headset for recording, to my knowledge. That's not something he said. That's just my knowledge of how the VR development worked on it. And I understand that completely. Kind of the same way that I make my videos, but I don't make them with the idea of what if someone plays this on a toaster oven? What if somebody else tries to play it on the dome in Vegas? What'll this look like? I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to make a video that people enjoy, right? And I think that that's kind of a very, very dumbed down caveman explanation of what's going on here. This is a really great game. It is a game that I recommend. It is a game that I genuinely think if you like the Arkham games, you would really enjoy. Do I think it's worth buying a headset for all on its own? Well, the headsets are now, I think, like $300 if you get the S, and I believe it's bundled in there with it. Like a $40 or $50 game, at least on its own, that's bundled in with it. In that way, if you're getting the S, it's going to completely depend on what you enjoy for gaming. But I would say with games like this and Assassin's Creed Nexus on there, it's a really fun system to play. The MetaQuest 3 is a fun system to play, but I have never been so frustrated at so many different things, whether it be myself for feeling like a total dumbass, whether it be at the way the tech was designed, whether it be at the interface for recording. I don't think I've ever been so frustrated with a piece of technology in my life. And that's kind of where, unfortunately, I feel like it's hard for me to review a game like this. It's hard for me to fully talk about a game like this, especially in a non-biased way, unless I can have a better one-to-one experience on it, because I can recognize all the amazing things that this game does, but I can also tell you that half the time I was playing it, I was getting mad because I was either sacrificing FOV, the performance, what you'd see, what you'd hear, what I'd see or hear, the ability to react to things because it would lag the game, crashes, because of the tech. And that's where I kind of feel like Arkham Shadow, to me, is a game that is amazing if you want to play it, but I would not recommend trying to record it. You can go to the other YouTubers who have done a great job. I guarantee that they are either the best tech wizard ever, or they have time to go back and do take after take after take to get it, which is no shade to them. That's amazing. That's great. Guys like Batman Arkham Videos did a fantastic job covering this game with a full walkthrough, and I applaud them. But it's just not something I have time for right now. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave it. If you think I was too negative on the headset, I'm sorry. In terms of playing with it, really fun. In terms of what I do, which is different than just playing with it, not fun. That's unfortunately where I'm at. But hey, you know what? I hope to talk to Ryan more about the game. I hope to talk to people around the game about it, because it's one of those things that's, I could tell it was really a passion project from people who loved all the Arkham games, but also people who actually appreciated Origins as much as me, which is unfortunately not something I see very often. Origins gets treated like the black sheep or the bastard child of the Arkham universe, which really sucks. I love it. So to see this game pay homage to all those games and do such a good job with it is something that made me really happy. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. I do appreciate you very much. If you want to support this channel, we have different things like a Fortnite code. We have our own store as well, which is cosmobunny.shop. I'm very tired, sorry. Where you can use code DJAY123 for 10% off your first purchase on our coasters, keychains, trays, and more. We make these out of recycled, repurposed paper. We don't print images, but we get paper from comics, manga, magazines, things like that that are damaged. Our local bookstores are not able to sell these, so what we do is we are either gifted them instead of them going into landfills, they were going to get thrown away, or we will pay dirt cheap prices to get these turn them into new art for your home, transform them into something new, and they live on. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic day. And as always, everyone, stay shui.